Dear learners, in this module we will be learning about bioactive component crocin present in saffron. Saffron, known as Crocus sativus family Iridacea, world's most costly spice by weight, is native to Mediterranean region. Saffron spice is the dried elongated stigma from the flower Crocus sativus. It is mainly used as a spice, highly valued for its coloring power, bitter taste and unique aroma attributed primarily to crocins, picrocrocins and saffronal respectively. Apart from its known application in the food industry, a number of pharmacological actions have been assigned to saffron and its constituents. Expansion of the use of natural products in the prevention of chronic diseases or cancer, as well as the interest in functional foods, is expected to attract the attention of consumers to include saffron in everyday diet. Today we will be learning about crocin. Crocin is a carotenoid compound that is found in the flower crocus and gardenia. Crocin is the chemical primarily responsible for the color of saffron. With water as a stationary phase and butanol as mobile phase, crocin can be isolated in pure form from saffron extract and directly crystallized. Chemically, crocin is a diester formed from the disaccharide denitobiose and the dicarboxylic acid crocetine. It is able to undergo hydrolysis by breaking the beta-shaped glycosidic bond. Crocin is a unique water-soluble carotenoid in nature. It is a water-soluble carotenoid that can dissolve in water easily and produce an orange-red solution. Crocin absorption and bioavailability. Studies showed that crocin is not absorbed through the gastrointestinal tract. It has been observed that after oral administration, crocin is hydrolyzed rapidly by enzymes in the intestinal epithelium and to a lesser extent by the microbial biota present in the intestine, leading to deglycosylated transcrocitine, which is absorbed by the intestinal mucosa. In connection with absorption of saffron in another study, it has been found that starch is able to enhance bioavailability of crocin in gastric lumen. Crocin in foods is mixed with salivary nitrite in the oral cavity and it is mixed into gastric juice in the stomach. Then reaction between crocin and nitrite in the gastric lumen occurs. Crocin reduces nitrite to nitric oxide under the gastric conditions at a pH of 2. The formation of starch crocin complexes can repress the redox reaction. Therefore, transportation of crocin to the intestine can be increased. After intestinal absorption, crocetine is partially metabolized to mono and diglucuronide conjugates. Orally administered crocin leads up to 81 times higher concentration of crocetine in serum than crocetine oral administration, which is interesting given that the pharmacological effect is often attributed to the transcrocetine isomer. Transcrocetine is the only saffron metabolite that is capable of crossing the blood-brain barrier and reach the central nervous system when pure crocetine or saffron extract is administered. This occurs 90 minutes after crocetine has been orally administered, as reported by Yoshini et al. We shall now see the health benefits of crocin. Crocin has shown various pharmacological activities such as antioxidant, anti-cancer, learning and memory enhancer in medical field. Besides its high antioxidant activity, the distinctive orange-red color of its pigment has made it also noteworthy for various industrial applications such as coloring matter in food and dyeing industry, preservative, bleaching agent for evaluation of pro-oxidant activity of foods by kinetic analysis and anti-aging agent in cosmetics. First, we shall see the antioxidant activity of crocin. Many studies on medical properties of saffron have indicated that saffron has a potent antioxidant activity, which is mostly due to the presence of crocin as a unique carotenoid. The antioxidant property of crocin was evaluated in comparable amounts with butylated hydroxyanisole. Crocin showed a high radical scavenging activity, 50% and 65% for 500 and 1000 parts per million solution in methanol respectively. High radical scavenging activity of these compounds is probably due to their ability to donate a hydrogen ion to the DPPH radical. Crocin scavenges free radicals, mainly the superoxide anions, and so may defend cells against oxidative stress. Research results have shown that crocin is beneficial for sperm cryoconservation. Therefore, it could be helpful in treatment of neurodegenerative disorders due to its great antioxidant effect. Hypolipidemic effect of crocin. Crocin has been reported as an effective hypolipidemic agent in several human and animal studies. Crocin decreased the amount of cholesterol in hypolipidemic rats with 2 months feeding of excessive cholesterol. In another study, it was found that crocin has strong triglyceridemic and cholesterolemic lowering effect in quails with coronary artery disease. In the elucidation of the hypolipidemic mechanism of crocin, Shang et al. Indicated that crocin inhibited the absorption of dietary fat and cholesterol. They reported this inhibition was very much related to the hydrolysis of fat. Likewise, the modified fat balance method indicated that crocin increased excretion of fecal fat and cholesterol in rats, but it had no impact on elimination of bile acids. Data of the in situ loop method and enzyme assay demonstrated that crocin could not directly inhibit the absorption of cholesterol from rat jejunum, but could selectively block the activity of pancreatic lipase as a competitive inhibitor. These findings suggest that crocin had lipid lowering properties by inhibiting pancreatic lipase, leading to malabsorption of fat and cholesterol. We shall now see the hypoglycemic and anti-diabetic effects of crocin. Crocin was found to possess anti-diabetic property in rodents fed fructose, as it relieved free fatty acid induced insulin insensitivity and dysregulated messenger RNA expression of TNF alpha adiponosectin as well as leptin in primary cultured rat adipocytes, proposing the possibility of crocin prescription as a preventive approach of insulin resistance and related diseases. Advanced glycation end products are associated with the cause of oxidative reaction that normally occurs in endothelial cell apoptosis and thus results in diabetic vascular complications. Crocin, by virtue of its high good antioxidant capacity and calcium antagonistic action or stabilization, may be a good solution for diabetic vascular complication. L. Dele described that crocin sativus stigmas given together with cisplatin led to an even higher reduction in blood glucose than that seen with cisplatin. Next, we shall see the antidepressant and mood improving effect of crocin. Crocin is known to show antidepressant impact on rodents. Crocin also reduced immobility time and increased climbing time at dose 50 to 600 milligram per kg, may be via individual uptake inhibition of dopamine and norepinephrine. According to Srivastav et al., two active ingredients of Crocus sativus, which are crocin and safranal, have shown antidepressant effects. Crocin at a dose of 30 mg per day was shown to amplify the effects of selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors in treating patients with mild to moderate depression with the absence of substantial side effects. Next, we shall study about the anti-cancer properties of crocin. Studies have indicated that crocin is a potential anti-cancer agent as it is able to treat gastric adenocarcinoma cells by induction of apoptosis as a biological phenomena and can lead to death of the cancer cells. Dear learners, to conclude this session, in this module we learnt that bioactive constituents of saffron, that is crocin, is a chemical primarily responsible for the color of saffron. Chemically, crocin is a diester formed from the disaccharide denitobiose and the dicarboxylic acid crocitin. Crocin is not absorbed directly. Indeed, crocin is hydrolyzed rapidly by enzymes in the intestinal epithelium and to a lesser extent by the intestinal microbiota, leading to crocitin, which is absorbed by the intestinal mucosa. Crocin has been shown to have an antioxidant, anti-hypolipidemic, hypoglycemic and anti-diabetic property and has an antidepressant and mood improving effect. It has also been shown to have an anti-proliferative action against cancer cells in vitro.